Hi, this is Sandy from Real Progressives, and I'm here at a brand new Congress meeting in Rochester, New York, and I was interested in getting information to bring back to my area. We're in a very hot and sweaty building, but it has been really informative. So I'm going to start by saying hi to Joe Kelly. He's here from North Carolina, and Joe, give it to you. Hi. Say hi to everybody on Real Progressive.
Hey, everybody.
Joe, tell me once again, I know that you did this and you were talking about how you got involved, but give me a little background on yourself.
I started off doing work with the Bernie Sanders grassroots campaign in North Carolina, so I wasn't on the official campaign, but I'm an artist in Charlotte, North Carolina. I started off by doing some paintings for our Martin Luther King Day parade, and that got a lot of attention. I raised some money that I didn't expect to have. I used that money to go on a Bernie journey, essentially. So I went to hundreds of cities across the United States and primary states, knocking on thousands of doors, talking to people on their doorsteps. And as that campaign started winding down, it's kind of an addiction. I'm changing the world. I'm making things happen. And I've really gotten to know my national community, people of all demographics,
Wonderful.
People in all different places. And
Well, your enthusiasm surely shows, and it was prevalent through the group. The group felt that way. So tell us, what is next for you, and what do you hope to gain from all these small meetings? And give us a little background on how these small meetings came about.
So I was approached several months ago back in Charlotte before Brand New Congress did any kind of tour, before we did our 100-city tour. And I think because of what Izzy and I were doing in Charlotte and our travels, they wanted us on board to help out with that. They explained what Brand New Congress is, and to us it was a logical next step. So it wasn't long before I read it over, checked everything out, and realized this is a very, very good plan. It's very solid, and I'm 100% on board. And so I just picked up where I left off with what I was doing for Bernie Sanders, and now I'm volunteering my own time, and I've been on that 100-city tour, just speaking to people all over the country. So what we do is we go on, we educate people about Brand New Congress, and you can learn anything you want to learn about it at brandnewcongress.org. And so I encourage people to go visit that and learn more about us. We also do call-ins every night if people want to join a call-in, and they can learn more about us. And let's see, what else did I want to say? When we're going on these tours, we're meeting people, we're identifying local leaders, and so we're kind of strategically going from city to city, but we want our local leaders to fill in the gaps in between and create more local leaders. And this has gotten huge. This has really gotten huge. I had no idea until we went to Philadelphia, and I was walking around with my Brand New Congress shirt, and I had people coming up to me from all over the country telling me about the wonderful work they're doing with our organization. And so
That had to be super exciting.
it really was.
Yeah.
It was, just lifted my heart a lot.
Like I said, I don't know how I didn't run into you.
I know.
I was there. So basically, can you give us a little background on the business structure of Brand New Congress?
Let's drag Izzy on in here.
Come on, Izzy, we've been waiting for Izzy. Let's see if we can all. Hey, I don't know if we can
this
say
way.
it. Oh, hello. This is Izzy.
Hey.
Hi, Izzy. And why don't you tell us about yourself? This is the group is Real Progressives, and we've already got quite a lot of watchers. So tell us about yourself.
So my name's Isra Allison. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm actually originally from Philadelphia, and got involved with politics very, not too long ago. Supporting Bernie Sanders back in October, became a delegate for Bernie, and did a lot of canvassing and vote banking, and just really my heart and soul went into this campaign. And working with Brand New Congress was a natural next step for me, and so therefore, we're out here trying to make differences in the world, and I think we're getting really close, especially when we see the momentum that has been cultivated through Bernie Sanders' organization. So.
Well, from the response that I saw in this group, there was an eagerness to belong and to understand that they actually can put forth candidates or become candidates themselves.
Right.
give us a little bit about how that
Yeah.
evolved?
You know, what's interesting is, you know, we are looking for candidates that are progressives in their heart and in their work and in their lifestyle choices. So, in other words, we're really looking for people that are good at what they do. They're proven servant leaders to their community. They also have a very progressive agenda, and they have progressive, they work towards a progressive agenda.
Okay.
And so we're also looking for people that don't sell out. So when we were looking for the individuals, we're looking for like teachers and stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home moms, civil engineers, people that refuse to take big money jobs because they want to stay with basically what they're doing, and they want to work with their communities and work closely with in their job because they're passionate about it. And so we want people to maintain that passion and eventually take it to office. And so these are the types of people that may not want to run, but we want to make sure that we can give them a little push to go, because the thing is, we're going to be supporting them. Brand New Congress will be supporting them from day one.
Yes, and that's exciting, because you did mention that each candidate will have their own campaign manager through Brand New Congress. Give us a little bit about the structure so somebody decides that they want to be a candidate for, let's say, a local city council. What do they do?
So, we're not dealing with city councils as the Brand New Congress, because we're national.
See, there you go.
This is all about the national campaign. But right now, the way the system's set up, if you wanted to run for Congress, you had to be pretty wealthy or very well connected. So we've completely changed that. We're going to provide the funds through our grassroots fundraising. That's going to be people like you and me, all of us. We are, similar to Bernie Sanders. We're not taking any corporate donations. There's no room for any kind of outside influence. There's no room for any kind of corruption in this organization. Corruption has gotten us to where we are now, and that's completely unacceptable. Mm-hmm. So right now, we're going to support these candidates before, during, and after the election. All they're going to have to do is get to know their constituents and address the issues to the people that they actually represent, not to corporate donors.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Actually, it's a well, from what I heard you say, you've grown in leaps and bounds. And can you give us a little information on what the Political Action Committee is, as opposed to a nonprofit 503c?
501c4.
Yeah, very many of
Well,
them.
the difference is we're actually running a campaign, and so when you think about 501c3 or 501c4, they're typically looking at education and not so much running a campaign. So that's kind of the big difference. So we are, providing the resources, doing everything that is needed to be successful in an election. So when we look at 2018, we're looking at running the campaign, getting to know these candidates, and really providing all the funding based on our PAC that we have towards business cards and flyers and yard signs and advertisements and things of that nature.
Are you guys in all 50 states? Have you has the Brand New Congress hit every state so far?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we have Hawaii. We didn't go to Alaska. So on our tour, we're tapping into places that we've already been on the Bernie campaign, essentially. Okay. So that was kind of a relatively easy thing to do, to go into these networks that we were already familiar with.
So the answer is not yet.
Yeah,
okay,
but
not yet. That's what a grassroots effort is.
Right.
And your grassroots effort is something that is very viable and very needed. And I understand that, we did have one question by a gentleman who asked about how are you going to partner with organizations that are looking to prevent fraud in the system, and he said that it was this was the cart before the horse or whatever, and we didn't really agree. Obviously the group didn't agree, but how do you deal with people that you come up against and they're saying that perhaps it's idealistic? Tell me how you do that.
Well, I think, we've talked about this, of course, a lot of us are upset, and it's really important that we work towards creating communities that, if you're passionate about something, then absolutely, why don't you step outside the box and make things happen. What we're talking about now is, maybe we can be motivation for individuals that have, this passionate energy towards, exposing fraud. I mean, we're all interested in it. I would love for someone to step up to the plate. Right now, we're concerned with brand new Congress, with getting, jump-starting brand new Congress for 2018. Obviously, things like voter fraud and how do we count ballots is very important. And, we're actively looking at paper ballots, for example, and other technologies that will make sure that, these things don't happen. But I think the bottom line is when we increase the midterm turnout, the voter turnout in general, I think that's going to surpass a lot of the concerns that we have, because
we're kicking off in a midterm election. We have 2 years to prepare. We learned everything from the mistakes from the Bernie campaign and from the assets of the Bernie campaign, the things that worked. So we're kicking this off in 2018. That's the beauty of it. Hardly anyone ever shows up for a midterm election. That's what midterm elections are known for, is passing by without people realizing that they even happened till afterwards. And that was one of the big kickers to the, that's what happened to Obama. Nobody showed out, and people don't show out. Well, then, who shows up? The crazy people.
I hear you. Well, that's exciting, because it's the first time I've heard of this kind of effort in a long time.
Yeah. So all we have to do is keep this buzz going and actually get people to show up. And we don't even need that many people to show up for it to work. It's a pretty solid plan.
Okay. Well, let's see. There was another, people were talking about some of the grassroots efforts that they were doing locally. Give me an example of someone like me who's going back to my little town and area, and tomorrow night I'm reporting on what I've learned. What is the biggest takeaway I should have from tonight?
Well, if you want to organize locally, there's a lot you can do. When we're going on tour, we're really looking for people to activate teams. And so being a true team leader means setting up a meeting at your house or at a bar or a community space like we are here tonight. And, bringing in people that may not know much about Brand New Congress, or maybe some of your individuals that you've worked with on different campaigns, whether it be Bernie or Democracy for America or any other organizations that you belong to, and getting them excited about it just like you are, and essentially getting our database ready because what's happening is we need to start building our database of the potential voters who will be voting for these candidates.
Yes.
So we want to really build the list, which is going to be the supporters of Brand New Congress, and also these are going to be the people that you'll be knocking on doors and also making phone calls to endorse the candidate for the particular district. So another thing is definitely start thinking about candidates. Candidate selection process is extremely important right now. We don't have a whole lot of time. We do have time because we're looking at 2018, but we're hoping to get our list out there. On March of 2017, we should have our first 50 candidates announced. And by July of next year, we should have all 400. So that means we have, between now and the beginning of next year to really have our slate of candidates so that we can really evaluate and start the vetting process. So it's important for individuals to put your heads together and find that ideal candidate that you truly believe should represent your district. And that is the key takeaway.
I can tell you right now, I've got Barbara from Bucks County, PA. She says she's in. I've got Forrest from Outer Banks, North Carolina. He says he's here with us. And we do have a gentleman right here. Hi, sir. What's your name?
Bill Benet.
Hi, Bill. And tell us why you came to the meeting tonight.
I was a Bernie delegate at the convention. I've been a lifelong Democrat since 1960, and member, activist in the civil rights and progressive wing of the Democratic Party. I was an elected official for 28 years here in Rochester, and I just believe that it is essential that the progressive wing of the Democratic Party take back the party from the corporate Democrats, as represented by Secretary Clinton.
Yeah, Bill, I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't. Let's just say hello to
Hi.
all our real progressives out there. It
Hi
is like
there.
900 degrees out here, but I
It's
wanted to
very
be in
hot.
with you guys
It's
because
very
you
hot.
know me.
It's
This
very
is
hot.
Bill, and I intend to pick Bill's brains in the future for
All right,
sure.
thank you.
I definitely do. Okay. Let's talk anything else that you guys want to tell my audience out there, real progressives, who I love very much.
Well, they turned the fans off in here, so we're kind of
kind of dying.
Yeah, we are dying.
Dying here.
It's 92 degrees and this is New York. I can imagine what you guys in Florida are going through.
if you're in Buffalo or Manchester, New Hampshire, or Providence, Rhode Island, Izzy and I are going to be there in the next few days. So please
Okay.
come out and see us.
Also, there's a big kickoff party, organization kickoff parties, national, on September 20th.
That's
so
right.
look for that on brandnewcongress.org. There's a map, and you can actually choose the location that's closest to you. Mm-hmm. Also, if you need more information at any time, go to brandnewcongress.org/call. We do have phone calls or conference calls Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you very much. And let me get in with you guys so we can do a little hello from Brand New Congress. I know I'm such a ham, guys, but you know me already. So anyway, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. Go to the Brand New Congress website. Please get involved. This is a really worthy, great organization. We are on the precipice of a lot of changes, guys, and you know it. And stick with us, real progressives. This is Sandy, over and out. Bye.